Hi, I'm Angela Piper, creator of the Clean and Lean Revolution. Here's your question today. Sweeteners made with stevia, like stevia in the raw, Truvia, organic stevia, and Truvia, are a healthy, natural way to sweeten your foods and drinks. Whole leaf stevia, in its natural form, is an herb that has 0 calories. It's a whole food that comes directly intact from nature. You could call this the sweetest plant on earth. In fact, its sweetness is about 12 to 15 times more potent than table sugar. Stevia owes its sweet, licorice-like flavor to compounds called glycosides. Stevia contains 8 different glycosides, the sweetest of which is stevioside. There have been at least 100 other active compounds, phytonutrients, and volatile oils identified within this herb. So remember, when you're eating plants and herbs, you aren't just eating a calorie or a protein or a fat. You're eating hundreds and thousands of phytonutrients and bioactive compounds within these plants that work synergistically to support your health. If you're looking for a safe, natural substitute for table sugar, stevia the herb is an option. But here's the kicker. When stevia leaves are dried and ground into a powder, the consistency has a slight resemblance to powdered sugar. It doesn't mix well in cold or hot fluids, which is why it's more difficult to use this sweetener and market it to consumers. Since stevia the herb isn't as user-friendly in the kitchen, companies have quickly jumped on the chance to produce products that are being marketed as stevia. Stevia in the raw, Truvia, organic stevia, and Truvia are all examples of products who claim to be made with stevia. These new products are offered in a crystalline form similar to sugar and salt. They dissolve easily in both cold and hot beverages. For the example today, I'm going to use Truvia, probably one of the better known stevia-containing products. Clever branding and marketing has really tricked most health-conscious consumers into believing that Truvia first comes from nature, second is stevia, and C is good for you. And before I talk more about Truvia, I first want to talk about Cheez Whiz. Please bear with me, I have a point here. Cheez Whiz, the original cheese dip, is able to use the name cheese on its label because it contains cheese. Since its conception in the 50s, Cheez Whiz listed cheese at the very end of the ingredients list. Just enough is present for Kraft to be able to use the word cheese in their tagline. In 2013, they stopped listing cheese on the ingredients list and now list cheese derivatives in the latest reformulated product, like milk solids. So last, there's no longer cheese listed on the Cheez Whiz label. It only contains a fraction of real cheese. So where am I going with this? Dare I say that Truvia is the Cheez Whiz of sweeteners? Here is a quote directly from the package of Truvia. Truvia sweetener comes from nature. Ribena comes from the sweet leaf of the stevia plant native to South America. Dried stevia leaves are steeped in water, similar to making tea. This unlocks the best tasting part of the leaf, which is then purified, I want to highlight that word, to provide a calorie-free sweet taste, end quote. There isn't any stevia leaf in Truvia. There is a compound called riboside A, a stevia extract that undergoes a 40-step chemical process that includes the use of chemicals like acetone, methanol, ethanol, acetonitril, and isopropanol to become riboside A. This is also called ribena or Reb A, and you'll find either of those marked on the label of these products. I do believe that this 40-step chemical process is being referred to with the word purified in their marketing statement. So here's the kicker. 1/2 of 1% of Truvia is ribena. 1/2 of 1% of Truvia is ribena. The rest is erythritol, which is a sugar alcohol. So Truvia is basically erythritol with 0.5% of ribena. So the marketing can scream that this is an all-natural sourced food product and it comes from the stevia plant. Whole leaf stevia in its natural form is an herb that has 0 calories. It's a whole food and it comes directly intact from nature. Has the FDA approved the use of stevia, the herb, from the plant, the actual leaf, this whole food as a sweetener in our food supply? From the FDA website, quote, the FDA has not permitted the use of whole leaf stevia or crude stevia extracts because these substances have not been approved for use as a food additive, end quote. Has the FDA approved riboside A? You betcha. It has attained GRAS status, generally recognized as safe. So let's break this down. Whole leaf stevia is an herb in its natural form and is not considered safe by the FDA. Ribadicide A has undergone a 40-step chemical process that includes known carcinogens like acetone, methanol, ethanol, acetonitril, and isopropanol, and this is approved by the FDA with GRAS status. If you need to sweeten something, go to the source and use honey, real maple syrup, or whole leaf stevia. You can actually buy a stevia plant for your garden and steep the leaves into your tea. If you do opt for a stevia product, the only thing that should be listed on the label is whole leaf stevia and not Ribadicide A, not Robinia, and not Reb A. There's one more important point that I'd like to make here. Truvia, as well as the other brands that offer this type of sweetener, like Stevia in the Raw, Truvia, and Organic Stevia, is marketing deception at its finest. These are not natural, pure, healthy, clean, or wholesome, nor do they contain a single speck of whole leaf stevia. And this is what the marketing screams out to the consumers. Most people would think that they're doing a very good thing by using these processed products, and they're clearly not. This is why we all have to remain diligent about the foods that we put into our body and continue to question everything that is not in its true natural state.